gonna shoot a quick garden tour this evening. I don't know if I've introduced anybody to our dog yet. This is Maple. I just watered that catmint. Hey, don't be chewing on my plants. She's a puppy. She's learning. Yet again, I still haven't gotten to the weeds. Apparently this stuff is edible though. I think my grandmother said it's called lamb's quarter. I hear a woodpecker. Looks like I'm starting to get some pests on my cabbage. Gonna have to inspect. I've had issues with slugs in the past with cabbage, so we might have to set out some bait for them. But they're coming along really nicely. I'm sure they're gonna love this cold snap we're about to get. Anybody in my area, Sunday and Monday we're supposed to get frost, so don't put anything in the ground yet, and if you have, be sure to cover it up. I have not been able to use my frost fabric for a while because this broccoli, which we have been eating it, Ember mostly eats the ones with the flowers, but sprouting broccoli, you can just pick off a head and munch it. It's a little different texture than regular broccoli, but it's tasty. It's still good. You found something to shred? So anyways, we've had butterflies on this lately. Not cabbage butterflies, thank the Lord, I've been watching. But I think I've seen a viceroy butterfly out here as well as a tiger swallowtail. So it's attracting pollinators, so I don't mind it going to seed like this. Here's my other broccoli. These will form regular heads. None of them have any blooms on them yet, any buds. Some more cabbage. I've got several different varieties, by the way, so these are a totally different variety than the ones on that end, as well as the ones on that end. Chinese cabbage is looking good. It's kind of starting to curl up on itself and maybe make a head, which is exciting. Still looking beautiful. My ant bed is still alive and well. I've been putting diatomaceous earth on it, but evidently that is not super effective. But I'm not willing to put poison in my garden, so in the yard, maybe. At this point, my daughter has stepped in it enough times that I'm like, okay, drawing the line, they need to go. But anyways, more cabbage. My Swiss chard is looking great. I mean, that's good eating size right there. These are watermelon radishes. I don't see any that are kind of starting to bulb up yet, but I bet it'll be soon with how the leaves are looking. Some of my celery is finally starting to look decent. I planted a full cell of seeds that I had sown in each spot, which means it's actually multiple plants, which is probably why they are so tiny, but I haven't had the heart to thin them. This whole row, the rest of this row, that's weeds. I'm about to use my stirrup hoe and kill all the weeds, and then we're gonna plant peppers here after this frost this coming weekend. Also, it was pointed out to me that I sounded very winded in my last video, and I'm already noticing it happening again. It is because when I'm talking like this, I get really nervous and forget to breathe. So that is why I'm hoping I'll grow out of it, but currently that's not the case. Okay, potatoes, they're looking great. Some of them a little smaller than others, and I've got some weeds blending in here and there. We haven't finished hilling them up all the way, so before I hill them up this next time, I'm gonna go through and weed them. Some of them are really lush. You can definitely tell the ones that had like a single eye versus multiple eyes on the potato. But just this past handful of days, they've really exploded. Also, if you see the cardboard, our plan is to put cardboard down to kill the weeds, or at least, you know, keep the weed population down. And then we're going to put wood chip mulch down in the walkways. Here's my onions and my leeks. These are leeks. I did weed this bed mostly. I think I just had a little strip here that was left that I didn't. But I believe this one's a shallot. Shallots in the middle, and then different onions on the sides. They're looking great. Also acquired some little garden decorations here and there over the past week. Potatoes still looking great. This whole row, all the way down, currently is tomatoes and marigolds. Some of the tomatoes, you'll see these are much smaller. Here, you know, this middle section, those are ones that I started. The ones on the end came from my mother-in-law. All the way down. And then these on this end, which are also bigger than mine, came from our friends Caleb and Bree. We're doing like a little exchange, and I'm giving them some peppers and they gave us some tomatoes. This is a nasturtium. I put it by the post. I'm not sure. Sometimes nasturtiums will vine. I'm not sure if this one's just going to bush out or if it'll vine up. Just a handful of tomatoes on this next row over here. One of my little garden decorations, as well as over here. And I am almost finished putting pine straw mulch down on my strawberries. Some of them are a little slower than others, but the bare root strawberries were definitely overall successful, as well as our asparagus crowns. Don't know if you can see that, if it'll focus, but if you don't pick asparagus, for anybody who doesn't know, the asparagus is actually the stalk of the plant, and when you don't pick it, it branches out like this, and it kind of looks like a bunch of tiny Christmas trees. Got those all the way down. See, here's a younger one, and I believe, if you can kind of tell, this one's actually a purple variety, as well as this one right here. And they say not to pick it in your first year at all, but usually you wait until the stalk is about the size of a pencil, and then you can start picking it. So we'll have a year or so before we can eat these, but it's gonna be worth it. And that's my garden. It's a work in progress. I would definitely love to be further along, but we do what we can with the daylight we have and the energy we have currently. It's exciting though. Already eating, you know, the broccoli stalks, and I could definitely start eating this Swiss chard, so it's already productive enough for us to harvest.